What up, everybody? It's Anthony Fallon, Tone Setter Sports Channel. Let's go. I want to talk about the quarterback positions. All of the quarterbacks that are listed in the draft. So we know we got uh, I know we got Sam Donald. Let's see who else in the top five. Sam Donald, Josh Allen. Um, what's the other guy? Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson are the top five, and Baker Mayfield. Um, they're in your top five in any order. Um, but then on the back end, from 6 to 11, that's the ones I really want to talk about. But I'm gonna brush on the top five because everybody's talking about them. Um, Now we're going from 6 down to 11 in the Lindy's Pro Draft magazine. You got Mason Rudolph, Mike White, Western Kentucky, uh, Luke Falk, Washington State, uh, Kurt Benkert from Virginia, Kyle Loretta from Richmond, Tanner Lee. That's from 6 to 11. Okay, now let's go to the top five. You got Donald, Rosen, um, Mayfield, uh, what's his name? Allen and Lamar. And so I did a video on Lamar, so I'm really not even gonna talk much on him. You just have to go back and watch my top five landing spots for Lamar Jackson. Enough said. Explosive, a quarterback that just can run extremely well. Uh, a quarterback with shifty moves. That's what he is. But pocket presence, deep touch. Good touch on deep throws. Can throw intermediate and short, and good pocket awareness. May need to work. It will have to work on mechanics and his drop step and stuff like that because he does throw flat footed at times because he knows he has the arm strength. But and everybody's trying to make that comparison to Mike Vick. This is the difference between him and Michael Vick. Yeah, Michael Vick was just as polarizing, and Michael Vick had a strong arm. Michael Vick could throw either left or right, but he chose to throw left-handed. I think he should have tried to throw right-handed because he probably had more better touch. Because Mike would throw lasers, whether if it was short or long, you know what I'm saying, or intermediate. He would throw darts. He had no touch throwing left hand. Now Lamar Jackson has touch. He just throw flat footed at times, like Cam Newton does. Because that's the problem with Cam Newton is that Cam Newton has such a rocket arm that he feel like he doesn't have to, work on his mechanics, and that's the only thing that's preventing Cam Newton from being a superior pocket passer is that his foot mechanics suck, and it leads to him throwing the ball with all arm and with no touch at all. So so that's the only difference between Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick really. And Lamar Jackson it also has like that Cam Newton thing where he's throwing flat footed at times, especially on those shorter routes when like the running back is kicking out, in the flats and stuff like that. Um, but he has far better touch than Michael Vick does. I'm gonna say that. Now, I don't really have a problem with none of the top five, but I just raised the question: when was the last time USC produced a franchise quarterback? Some of you might want to say Carson Palmer. You know what I'm saying? If he was that much of a franchise quarterback, why did the Bengals let him go? And he ended up in ending his career at Arizona, and he did good. He did good at Arizona, but health wise, it didn't work out. He just couldn't. It just didn't work out for him where he could stay on the field the last couple of seasons or not. They had a quite playoff run, but he shut down. He just shut down under pressure when they did had that playoff run about what 3 years ago or something like that. Um, so we can go through a list of USC quarterbacks that's supposed to have been, um, prominent, traditional, uh, prototypical, play on the center, play as a center, play on the center, pro style ready quarterback. Carson Palmer, uh, Matt Leinart, Barkley, Sanchez, yeah, Kessler. Um, what's the guy that came in behind? That came in with Leinart. He played. He was the backup for Castle. Oh, I mean, this is over the last 10 years now. This is over the last 10 years. None of them are starting quarterbacks, or they're out of the NFL. And this is supposed to be the USC. This is during the Pete Carroll era, and after the Pete Carroll era, and none of them are like these prominent franchise quarterbacks like they claiming Sam Darnold's gonna be. Oh, he's the projected number one. See, that's that media talk, man. None of these teams are going for that shit. I'm telling you now, they're not going for it. I mean, because look at the moves the Browns made. They went and got uh Tyrod Taylor. Look at what the moves the Jets made. They moved up in the draft to three. And people saying they're going to get a quarterback. I don't think so. They got McCown that was having one of his best career years as a quarterback, but he's 39 years old. And they just signed Teddy Bridgewater. So they got Teddy. So they might start McCown, but I think Teddy Bridgewater will end up being the starter. And you still got Hackenberg and Petty as backups. So they're gonna have to get rid of two of them in order to and if they're gonna get a quarterback. But I don't think so. Um, like I said, when has USC produced a franchise quarterback? Please tell me when. Somebody please comment. Second, then you got now you got Rosen, and he made the statement that he didn't want to go to New York, stuff like that. Um, I mean, he got the arm strength. All these guys, they got all the tools and some of the intangibles. Um, but still, uh, when has UCLA produced a franchise quarterback? Last one that I can remember was Troy Aikman. That's it. UCLA. That's the only quarterback that I know of. You got the guy that was for oh no, who came out of UCLA? Not Troy Aikman. It's um Aaron Rodgers came out of UCLA. I think so. No, he came out of Cal. I'm tripping. He came out of Cal. Uh, so I don't did Troy Aikman come out of you? I'm kind of say I'm just kind of just going off the mind off the brain. I'm freestyling here. So correct me if I'm wrong. If I think Troy Aikman did come out of UCLA or Cal, whatever it could have been. Um, and they got matter of fact, Green Bay Brent Huntley came out of UCLA. Um, I know Rosen had some hype about him the year before and stuff like that, but he didn't come out. Um, and he has a nice build, 6'3", 220. You know what I'm saying? Got a rocket on. Um, and maybe he could be a stud. I'm not saying none of these they could prove me wrong. I mean, maybe so, but these guys are no different. I mean, because all of them got holes in their game. Um, but it's all about heart. Um, so yeah, just tell me when. They are not they're not a quarterback factory. Matter of fact, it's so hard to find a good quarterback because I just think it partially is due to the coach, the team that drafted them as well. So it's not all their fault, And you got to have a willingness, wanting to do better and wanting to be better, and study that film. So now we got Josh Allen out of Wyoming, and he's coming. He's now that Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz. Um, 2 year starter was under center and shotgun in the Cowboys offense, and um, yeah. So yeah, that I knew him and Carson Wentz had some kind of, they kind of strung along because the offense was identical. I guess one of the coaches, uh, or the coach, or the head coach, whoever, was was at Wyoming. So Rosen he was a 2 year starter. He played under center and shotgun for the Wyoming Cowboys. And he's that prototypical 6'4", 230. He can run. He got some mobility. Got a strong arm. And who's to say that he's gonna be a Carson Wentz? Nobody can really say that. His accuracy was no better than Lamar Jackson's. Um, for real. Actually, his is a little worse, but you still can't say he is not as polarizing as Lamar. Yes, Lamar won the Heisman and stuff like that. So I don't really have much to say about Josh Allen because I haven't watched any highlights on him. Um, but we know what this coach has done with Carson Wentz and stuff. He pretty much found a prototypical or a quarterback that's identical to Carson Wentz, and they have a lot of similarities in a sense as far as mobility, arm strength, but he has to work on a lot of stuff too. Um, he had especially with his passing, his timing and stuff, a lot of balls sailed on him and stuff like that. And his drop back to release as well, sloppy mechanics, you know. So, but that's pretty much in all of them. One of the guys I think I do like, um, I do like, and I think he's gonna be a day one starter. But you know what? When I think about it, because this is somebody commented on something on the Lamar Jackson video I made about the top five landing spots, and he asked the question is uh I forgot the question. It was well, I'm just kind of paraphrasing. It was like uh where would I put Lamar Jackson as a day one starter? I mean, the only uh the only teams that everybody's saying they need a quarterback is like the Browns, Arizona, uh, Arizona, shoot, the Jets. They the ones that really need quarterbacks. That really needs a quarterback. So all this year, everybody's this is. Now I'm gonna just go ahead. This is gonna be the end of my of my thoughts. I'm gonna say the end now, but I'm gonna still elaborate on the quarterback. But my thing is this: everybody's going back off the quarterbacks. Some of them might pull the trigger. They stupid if they are, because you for the most part the teams that really need quarterbacks, the Bills is the only team that really needs a quarterback because they got AJ McCarron. I mean he had one good playoff run. For the Bengals. Other than that, no. They the only ones that really need a quarterback because the Jets got McCown and Bridgewater. Um, uh, Arizona has Sam Bradford, not the best, but he's solid. You know what I'm saying? He's accurate. You know, he's just injury prone. That's his biggest problem. So of course they're gonna need backup. You got Miami that Tannehill is coming off of injury. You know, so um, the Jet, like I just said, the Jets. So who else? Who else needs a quarterback? I can't think of anybody else. I think everybody's set. Everybody just need a backup. Just somebody to groom. Atlanta could use someone to groom because all they have is Matt Schaub. Who knows when he might retire? Miami needs someone to groom because they still has Tannehill depending on his health. Um, the Redskins need a backup because they got Alex Smith as their starter. Minnesota needs a backup because they let go of Bridgewater, Keenum, and uh, I just mentioned his name, Bradford. They need a backup. Um, Arizona needs a backup to Bradford, even though they got Drew Stanton. Um, uh, New Orleans need a backup. That's why I prefer Lamar Jackson to go. But Lamar Jackson can go to Atlanta too. You know what I'm saying, as a backup. New England, but the guy didn't agree. He said New England was too racist for them to draft Lamar Jackson. Um, he go there after Tom Brady win. He start winning. They will forget they forget all people will forget about color, even though we know how the Northeast is up there and stuff. But that's everywhere. You ask me. I mean, shit. The whole NFL is partially racist. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, look at the kneeling shit. But anyway, that I digress on that. Um, let me see who else could use. Everybody could pretty much everybody could use. Dallas could use a backup because we don't know what Cooper Rush is going to be like. But Dak is still young, so I would prefer Dak to have a veteran. Um, but they got Kellen Moore as the quarterback coach now, so all they got is Cooper Rush as a backup. Um, uh, Deshaun Watkins, I mean Houston. You know, that's all everybody needs is backup quarterbacks. That's all they're gonna be. Because they either the quarterbacks are too young to to try to put another young quarterback in position, just like Cleveland Browns. That's why they got Tyrod Taylor because they already got Deshaun Kaiser. So, I mean, I haven't made my point. So, okay, let's go forward. I like Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield could be a starter. I think Lamar Jackson could be a starter, even though I don't prefer that because it would take someone like what Houston did with Deshaun Watson, uh, to make him, to put him in the best position. I mean, if you're not gonna make him a starter, you groom him, and hopefully he has um, that it. I think Deshaun Watson got that. He got that quiet confidence. He got that it factor with. I mean, I said Deshaun. Lamar Jackson has that it factor too, along with Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? It just got that it. But Lamar is just more. People try to make it seem like he's just more reserved. I just think he ain't gonna say he's just not gonna say much. He's just straight to the point. Um, as simple as that. Um, they just they don't understand us. As simple as that. They don't get it. But anyway, when I see him in his interviews, man, I see a little bit of arrogance, confidence. I hear it when he's talking, and because they keep repeatedly asking him the questions. But Baker Mayfield is another one that I really like, though. I like his as people would say these days, swagger. How shit get taken out of context. Um, his moxie, you know, that's more his mental makeup. Um, and he's accurate as hell. So that's what I like about Baker Mayfield. and he has a strong arm as well. Now he's a bit undersized. He's 6 foot 212. But this one thing that impressed me about Baker Mayfield too. I remember when he was invited to the was it the Senior Bowl? Yeah, I think it was the Senior Bowl. And before and when he found out who his coach was for the Senior Bowl, he contacted the coach and was like, "Send me a playbook, so he can be prepared before, so he will have some intimate knowledge of the offensive playbook before they even had practice." Hey, trust me, he to me he's the one besides Lamar. He is that one. But thing was again, when has Oklahoma produced a quarterback and they throwing the Johnny Manziel stigma on him? You know what I'm saying? But when has Oklahoma produced a quarterback as of late in the last 10 years, last 20 years? Somebody comment. I don't know. Now let's get to the 6 to 11. And I'm gonna run through this quick because this is the problem with 6 to 11. These second tier draft prospects, adequate arm strength. They all have the physical stature. 6'3", 230, 220. And stuff like that. But when it comes to Mason Rudolph from Oklahoma State, adequate arm strength. When it comes to who was the other one? Luke Falk, Washington State, adequate arm strength. When it comes to Kyle Lauletta, and he was the MVP of the Senior Bowl. He stole it from Baker Mayfield, everybody from Richmond. And I like my Virginia boys, man. And I thought he did. Now you watch the Senior Bowl, he did a real good job. And he could be a steal, but he gotta be in the right situation because at the same time, middle arm strength. Tanner Lee has the arm strength, but no feel for the pocket, and he's slow. And the thing is, they got him one of the fastest. They got him running a 4.6 in the Lindy's magazine. Now I don't know how true that is. Like I said, I don't Lindy's projections and as far as their measurables and stuff could be a little off. Now the one that I do like, Virginia, Kurt Benkert, arm strength, got it. Accuracy, got it. Physical stature, could put on some more weight, 6'3", 214. Athleticism, got it. Hold up. He got that. Changing the channel, getting prime for this Superman the Krypton little mini series or whatnot for tomorrow. But they doing some anime or animated Superman clips that's about movies that's been put out over the last 2 years or so to help lead up to Brainiac and all this stuff. So I've been catching that as of late while I got some downtime because I'm gonna be hitting this road soon. Um, that's the only thing that's good on TV anyway. Shit, for real. I don't watch TV much. Just whenever and whatever's at my, I watch what I want to watch because I just watch shit that's at my disposal. But that's what I'll get into that a whole nother time. But Kurt Benkert, Virginia, 6'3", 214, 4'9", athletic, strong arm. Athleticism really not that, but can strike on can strike on the move. Like I said, accuracy, got a strong arm. Now this I'm just gonna read his weaknesses, but also smart, very very intelligent. Got his master's degree in in higher education. Went to Eastern Carolina for three. Got his degree in finance in only 3 years. He bounced around. You know, he did two. He went to two colleges. You know, three different high schools. So he went from Eastern Carolina to Virginia. You know, I guess because he had eligibility. Now they credited him, you know, for being an accurate passer on the deep throws and stuff like that, strong arm or whatever. But this is what their weakness is. This is all they said about in his weakness: stubborn passer and forced throws. So he's somewhat bit of a gunslinger, and they telegraph his pass because he says stare down targets, uh, leading to batted passes. Great downfield arm strength, but lacks natural feel for deep placements. That can be adjusted and work. That you can work on that. Holds the ball too long and takes sacks. When takes sacks he shouldn't. Okay. Pressure affects his decision making. What quarterback doesn't get affected by decision making? Don't get affected uh, when he's under pressure. That's the reason why they have pass rushers, because if you don't sack them, you at least get an arm on them, uh, and stuff like that. Ball placement tends to run hot cold, mostly due to shaky body mechanics. 57% career completion percentage matches the tape. It doesn't take care of the ball, especially under pressure. 11 fumbles in 2017. Medical will be important after multiple injuries in his left non-throwing shoulder at his junior year in 2016 and senior year in 2017. Uh, Missed the 2015 season after tearing the ACL in his right knee. Unimpressive career record, 8-15 as a starter. Well, we know that Virginia is not one of the top tier programs, and stuff like that. East Carolina is not a top tier program. Okay, so he's somewhat injury prone, but at least it's his throwing shoulder, and he tore an ACL. And, it's hard to escape this game without being injured, or not have a. You're just an injury away in playing football anyway, no matter what position. So, but it seemed like he has some work to do, just like all the rest of the quarterbacks. But it seemed like he should be number 6 behind Lamar Jackson, other than Mason Rudolph, because he has the NFL arm strength. He has the NFL accuracy and touch, but he just needs to be more consistent. He just needs to shore up some things. So, with that being said, this is Tone Sutter Sports. Y'all have a good night. Peace.